Hello, everybody. It's Dante here. Welcome to the update and the travel vlog. I'm in Istanbul, Turkey. I've been here just over a week. It's been great so far, other than the fact that I got kind of sick 4 days ago. It's not the worst sickness I had in Latin America. I've had much worse sicknesses when I first started traveling, and this is just kind of a little reminder of that. I think it's integrating the new biome thing, and hopefully I'll be good tomorrow or something. Every day I'm like, yeah, I'll be totally fine tomorrow, and I still find I'm fatigued, but hey, here we go. The last time I posted a travel vlog was in Denmark. It was right as I was getting on the airplane, so I guess I could fill you in on the week in Berlin. Berlin is a place I really love, and it was kind of like revisiting old stomping grounds because I had spent before there an entire month and then some, really immersing myself in the city, and I was really trying out some of the clubs and environments before that I never had been to back in those days, and now it's just kind of like dipping into something that's like familiar and nice. Um, that said, Germany is a lot more less efficient than Scandinavia was. They seem very similar on the surface, the Scandinavian and the German way, but I'll assure you that the German way is so structured and tends to be so organized that it actually isn't efficient because it's overkill control and paperwork and structure. And my God, I could feel that already in a week. And it really um, reflected to me quite instantly what they say in Denmark is that Scandinavia is a culture of trust and that people innately trust each other. And when you give people your trust, you give out the best in them. And I noticed how quickly the trust wasn't there. It's like you come to know something by its absence. And I was just really, well, I think what they say is true, that I felt so welcomed and so trusted by everyone that it was surprising when it wasn't such a given. Regardless, I had an amazing time in Berlin, and I almost don't even want to share too much about it in YouTube because it was there was a kink festival happening, and I just loved witnessing it. I'm not so into all of the things that people display there, but it's so important that people have a space where they can freely, in the light of day, be exactly who they are. Um, and I have a very open mind about all of these things, and think that when there's a desire there, there's a reason for it, and as long as there's no harm involved, it needs to be explored. Though I found that as I shared a little bit about on Instagram about it, like I lost some followers, and it's just like, oof, like this spiritual community really needs to open their mind. And I guess here I am kind of in between worlds anyway. Um, so my time in Berlin was really, I got about me after doing all of these ceremonies and ceremonies and ceremonies and ceremonies. Every weekend for weeks, I received a cacao ceremony, healing ceremony, and got to participate, and then went to the festival and just got to meet all sorts of beautiful people. And then I arrived in Istanbul, and it was kind of the same. That every day I was meeting new people up until my friends arrived, and right as my well, one friend and a friend of a friend, basically as soon as my friend arrived, I got sick, and I went to see some tourist things with her, like the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque. But beyond that, I've kind of been in a lot, and from the very beginning I was just using this time to recover and focus on my work and focus on integrating that I haven't really been doing, being so busy and always with people. And then, yeah, the sickness, but getting a bit of experience with um, Middle Eastern people, hanging out with them, it was just so really interesting the way that different cultures work. And for example, people here are very like touchy, like they're just conversing with you, but they're holding your hand and touching you here and touching you there. And it's kind of like, I think this is the way that people are really meant to be, honestly, that the way that we don't touch and avoid people is kind of not really nurturing our animal nature, where this touch gives us oxytocin and gives us the signal to our body that it's okay to trust and relax. And I found that very sweet, and people in general are very nice. But the thing is, no one here really speaks English. And so it's like this game all the time. Like, some friends of mine try to actually say intelligent things and have conversations with people who clearly don't speak English, and I feel so embarrassed. It's just like, let's just move as quickly through this as we can and point to what we want and communicate. And when you do meet people who speak English, it's better. I guess the people that I did manage to meet were through some dating opportunities, and the connections went well enough to the point, and there was interesting things that I could. I mean, a couple of them I only met once. One person I was meeting several times up until the point that uh, I don't know. I was asleep, and he was texting me that we were supposed to meet, and that I wasn't responding right away. It's like, why are you disrespecting me? If you don't want to come, just tell me. And I felt kind of thrown off by that. And then I rushed out without eating. Then we were waiting for another friend. And by that point, I was getting very hangry. And the restaurant we went to wasn't closed, was not open. And then more hanger, and just kind of like this, my tone and things I was saying. I wasn't saying anything rude to him. I was just like, what is going on? Where's the food? Like this hangry energy, and that really scared him off. And he took it as me disrespecting him. I don't know if it was just a language barrier or what was going on there, but um, it kind of brought me down. And then I was at a point of, like, if this is so temporary, um, if it was really meant to be, then none of that would have happened, and I'm just supposed to focus my energy on more important things. Um, but that was, also a reflection in a lot of senses of, you don't need to push yourself out of the way if people are like, be here now. And it's like, maybe I need to take care of myself and not so quickly respond when people are demanding something of my energy, or I feel that they're anxious that I'm not there. I get anxious in return, but I don't need to be. The most important thing is to take care of my needs. And if I let myself get hungry and my blood sugar get low, then that sabotages everything. And if I'm so focused on needing to care for this and that and other people, well, the most important thing is ultimately that I'm in balance. But how easily we forget that. Um, so, a little lesson to start. And one thing that I find really interesting about these places is that everything is, it's very hidden. Like, everything you would imagine about the rest of the world is here, but it's hidden. The sexuality is hidden. The substances are hidden. The conflicts are apparently hidden. Um, Everything is there. It's just, you need to hide it. Like, you need to hide the women themselves. And um, the hiding and the gendered nature of it is a little bit overwhelming. It throws me off, and I'm in my Western perspective, like, this isn't right and it shouldn't be that way. Um, and it is just the way it is here. And maybe it's really unfair to women, and it's really unfair to queer people. And I also just try to open myself to the remembrance that I am a guest here, and I am here for a short time, and I am just riding the waves and not trying to get into any trouble. So continue to participate in the hiding of things. But for example, like, it's to the point that, like, um, my shirt was too short, or my shirt wasn't tucked in, and like you could see a little bit of my back, not even my butt or anything, and people were very upset about that. Or they weren't really upset, they just like let me know, like, tuck that down. Okay, sure. Whatever. um it is a not so expensive place, but it is very clean compared to other places that are not expensive, and also compared to other places that are not so super expensive. It's not super chaotic. Like you walk through the streets of Mexico, Guatemala, Peru, India, so many places that I've been, and it's this over sensory stimulation with so much noise and so much loudness all the time. And here it's the sounds of mosques that go off maybe 5 times a day, but beyond that, you're not getting these crazy trucks and announcements and loudspeakers and people blaring music. It's very courteous, polite, and soft. Um, and that I quite like. Um, I am here in Istanbul almost another 10 days, and then Rainbow Gathering. So it's just kind of picking up. Um, I'm here in Turkey for a little while, and sometimes I think it's especially true because I'm with a friend I know from Mexico that I'm really missing it and missing the fun flow of life that I know and the familiar. But I'm remembering this trip is sort of once in a lifetime thing, and I'm not going to do this every year. And every other year, I can go back to those places I'm familiar with and do the things that I am familiar with. And for now, I've signed up for this, and I shouldn't help myself to back out of it. I should just be here for the journey because there's reward in it. And I mean, I guess in my mind, I wanted something that was going to challenge me and something that was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. And out of all the places that were going to offer me that, I knew that Turkey would be the one that I liked the most, or that it was the one that called me in this moment. And it's definitely serving me. Um, the food is in generally really good. The men are very attractive. um, and beyond my little stomach flu and some miscommunications, um, everything's working out. And so that's the update from Turkey. And thanks for tuning in. And I will see you in a couple of weeks for the next travel vlog update. Peace, blessings, love for now, and check out the channeling live transmission tomorrow.